Hello, boys and girls. I'm going to go over your language lesson for your at-home learning for today, Thursday, February 11th. In your at-home learning packet, you're going to see a chart that has verb tenses. This is something we've gone over in class, but it's been a little bit since we have gone over it very well, so we wanted to make sure you had a chance to review that at home before you worked on the chart. First of all, we need to remember what are verb tenses. Well, verb tenses tell us when something happens. Remember, a verb is an action word. Verb, verb, action word. So if you can look at that verb and you can decide what the verb tense is, it's going to help you understand when that sentence is happening. Now, there are three verb tenses that we have to think about. The first one is past tense. Past tense means that it's already happened. Whatever the action is has already happened in the past. The next tense is the present tense. Present tense means that it's something that is happening right now. And future tense means that it's something that is going to happen in the future. So those are our three verb tenses: past, present, and future tense. Let's look at a few sentences here, and we're going to look at the verbs that are in those sentences and see if we can figure out if they happened in the past, if they're happening in the present, which means right now, or if it's something that's going to happen in the future. So here's our first sentence. It says, Jessica opened her backpack last night. What's the verb? What's the action word? What is the thing that Jessica does? She opened. Now, if I look at that sentence and I have to think, when did that happen? Did it happen in the past? Is it happening in the present, right now? Or is it something that's going to happen in the future? I can kind of see some other clues in that sentence. I see the words last night. Well, I know if something happened last night, that it's something that's already happened. But I can actually look at just that verb and figure out when it happened. If I look at the verb opened, at the very end of it, I see ED. If you see ED at the end of the verb, it's going to tell you that it happened in the past. So any verb that you see that has ED at the end usually means that it happened in the past. Here's the next sentence. The boys paint a picture. What do the boys do? They paint. Now, I don't see any other clue words that help me know if it happened in the past, the present, or the future. But this is one thing you can look at. If I look at just the word paint, do I see an ED at the end of paint? No. So that tells me it's not a past tense verb. Now, here's the other one. If I look at the word paint and I look in front of the word paint, do you see the word will? I don't see the word will. If it doesn't have will in front of it, it's usually not a future tense verb. If it's just the verb itself, like paint, run, dance, play, that is a present tense verb. That means it's happening right now. So the boys paint a picture is a present tense sentence. It's happening now. Now the third sentence that we're going to look at says, my sister will study her words later. What will my sister do? She will study. Now, I do see another clue word in this one. I see the word later. If I see the word later, I know that that's something that's going to happen, so it's in the future. But I can actually decide that it's a future tense verb without even seeing the word later. Look in front of the word study. I see the word will. If I have will in front of my verb, that means it's a future tense verb. Will is actually something called a helping verb. It helps out my action verb and helps us to understand that that's a future tense verb. We'll learn more about helping verbs later in the school year. But if you see ED, you know that it's past tense. If you see will, you're going to know that it's future tense. So let's look at a chart and see if we can put some of our verbs in the right place in the chart. Okay, here's our past tense, present tense, and future tense. Remember, if I see ED at the end of the word, then it's going to be a past tense verb. If I see will, it's hard to get my pen to right here. If I see will at the beginning of the verb, then I'm going to know that it's a future tense verb. So let's look at these verbs. Run, Do you see ed? Do you see will? No. That means run is a present tense verb. Will dance. Where does that one go? Oh, I see the word will. It's going to be a future tense verb. And jumped. What do you see in jumped that might help us know? I see that ed. So that means jumped is a past tense verb. Now for your chart that you're going to have in your at-home learning packet, you can either cut those verbs out or you can just write them in the chart. Either one. If you don't have scissors and glue, you're more than welcome to write them. But just remember, past tense verbs have ed, future tense verbs have will in front of them, and present tense verbs are not going to have either of those things. Past, it's already happened. Present, it's happening now. Future tense is going to happen. If you have any questions, make sure that you let Miss Paige, Miss Michelle, or I know. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.